Cyberpunk.
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully everyone is having a great day. Sorry I haven't been uploading many videos lately. Your old pal Jigga is going through some times. So I'm gonna try and upload a bit more frequently. I have been trying to fill in the gaps with some gameplay videos, but likely I won't be doing streaming anytime soon until I'm kind of ready. So it's been almost a month since I did an actual front of the camera video. So we're going to do the video for today addressing Cyberpunk 2077. You know, I went, I had a hard choice to make. I was either going to buy this game or Demon's Souls. And yeah, I kind of regret my decision. So we're going to get into the video right now. So Cyberpunk 2077, the pros. The city is rich with detail, and it also feels expensive. Remember the first time we set eyes on the city when we were inside that, if I remember correctly, it was a hover car or some car on rails. And you can tell the city was huge and you could go all around the place, so that looks amazing, even though a huge sprawling city like that is not my type of gameplay. But it is a pro. Another pro for the game is the character, your side character, Jackie. So he has an amazing personality that you like him right off the bat. So there's no spoilers. I played only about like 5 hours of the game. I streamed it last night. So yeah, Jackie is definitely a plus to the game. So the game is also great by giving you a very easy way to track your progress throughout the game and track your mission objectives, whether it's a side quest or a main part of the mission. So because the cities are huge, the area is really big. Apparently it's not as big as The Witcher 3, but it is still big enough for you to get lost in, especially once you start unlocking the ability to break down doors and hack through protected doors, and the world opens up to you all that much more. So those are the top pros that I could think of directly off the top of my head. And now we're going to get into the cons. So the cons. So I played the game on the PlayStation 5, and I'm playing it directly from the PlayStation 5 SSD drive. The game is well over 100 gigabytes. It does load fast. I didn't notice any loading screens. Maybe if you want to consider the elevator rides loading time, but that's technically not loading time. What I found odd was, even though I was playing it on the PlayStation 5, it looked no better than a PlayStation 4 Pro game. So definitely a con. So I'm not sure why they didn't launch it with a PlayStation 5 patch. That would have been great, but I know that's coming. So other cons in the game include picking up items, which should never be something that's difficult to do. But I found myself after beating the first kind of boss, your first main tough bad guy. He drops a big gun, so I tried to pick it up, and I was trying to equip the gun. And so what the character would do is he would pick up the gun, he would look at it for a second, and then he would literally just toss the gun aside. I'm like, no, you jackass, freaking equip it. So I tried over and over. I think I tried for like 2 or 3 minutes straight before he finally did pick up the big gun and start actually wielding it. So that's weird. And then you have other parts of the game where you'll kill the enemy, and what the enemy will do, like after dropping to the ground, is they'll start twitching all over the place erratically and stuff like this. It almost kind of looks like they're breakdancing sometimes, or other times you'll have artifacts that will just populate and just stay in midair. Like there was a few times where guns were just floating in the air as I walked into the room, and then the camera would twitch and the artifact would disappear. Yeah, and then there's other oddities, like the fact that you can actually count the pixels, not the pixels, but you can actually count the polygons on some of the things. One of the most noticeable ones that I picked up on was when you walked onto the basketball field, the basketball court, and you met with these 3 or 4 guys, and they hand you a ball. And if you look at the ball, you can literally see maybe like 8 or 10 straight edge lines making the ball. And then when I started realizing that, I started seeing the high polygon counts, the low polygon counts on many other things as well, and that shouldn't be, especially not on a PlayStation 5, and especially not on a PlayStation 4 either. You can definitely make the ball look much rounder, but it's things like that in the graphics that are consistent and they are frequent. You'll have sometimes like on the nitpicking, but there was a part where Jackie was sitting down eating a cup of noodles, and in the live stream I would literally say that it looks like he's eating a box of diarrhea. You could not tell what the hell he was eating. All you saw was like this weird brown with these green, might have been trying to look like beans, but it didn't look like anything resembling food. It just looked like sludge packed in together. And then right underneath that, you had a display of other food articles like dumplings and sushi and things like this, and those ones were extremely well detailed and they looked like real food. And then you would pan back to the food that Jackie was eating and it looked like a bucket of diarrhea. And another thing that was very off-putting was how dark the environment is. Whether you're outside or inside, especially when you crouch, things become even darker because you go into stealth mode. But the whole game looks very dark, and I don't have the settings on my for the game or my TV dark at all, and I was struggling to sometimes find where I was looking at. So those are some of the cons, and now going into the controls, which are completely bizarre. So I've been playing games for years, and I'm pretty good at first-person shooter games. So in this game, everything feels loose. Like walking is fine, looking around is fine, but the moment you're in the action areas where you're shooting down at people, the moment you go into iron sights or down barrel, it's hard to actually pin the enemies, because for whatever reason, instead of the reticle going towards the enemy, you actually have the nose of the gun covering the enemy, so you can't actually see the enemy that you're shooting. You just have to trust that your lock-on option, if you enabled it, is going to go onto the enemy. But even with that, because I had set because I wanted to make the live stream very quick and fluid without any issues, so I put the settings like on very easy stuff. So even having the lock-on and aim assist at the standard, which is the highest that you can put it on, even if I was like within a couple of pixels of the enemy that I wanted to shoot, it would not lock on all the time. It would say it would lock on maybe 50% of the time. And 50% of the time, if you're locking on 50% of the time, you're locking on 100% of the time. But that doesn't work. So that's very odd with the controls. The driving sequences, and I've heard other people talking about this as well, so I'm glad it wasn't just me. I've played racing games, I've played driving simulators and stuff like this. This reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 5 when it was just released before they patched it, where the car literally spins on a dime. It goes from 0 to 100 the moment you press the accelerator. Reversing is fine, but going forward, the driving is horrible. Rage had a perfect driving mechanism. Rage 2, sorry, had a perfect driving mechanism. I really enjoyed it right off the bat. This one, I'm gonna dread until they patch it, I'm gonna dread the driving parts. It pretty much kind of feels like the best way that I can describe how the driving feels is as if you're trying to control a paper airplane in a small tornado. That's what the driving feels like, at least for me. And again, I'm playing this on PlayStation 5. Now for some of the perplexing stuff. So when you drink, so you're right within the first hour of the game, you actually have the option of consuming 2 drinks. One when you're inside the car, and one when you're sitting down with Jackie at the bar. Again, there's no spoilers in whatever I'm saying right now. So when you're in the car, so it's a self-driving car, so there's no drinking and driving. So you take a sip of your drink, and from the first sip of the drink, you're automatically drunk. And originally I thought there was a glitch in the game because everything was going like this, expanding and contracting. So I'm like, what the hell is this? This must be some sort of a glitch. And it wasn't until I was at the bar with Jackie and I had that shot with him and the same thing happened. The drunk effect in the game is, okay, the camera kind of wobbles, which is normal for the drunk effect, but everything contracts and expands, as if everything is breathing. So I don't know if the developers of the game have ever had a drink in their life or have ever been drunk, but that's not how being drunk looks or feels like. I forgot, in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, you do actually have the option to drink, and that one is actually done perfectly well because you have multiple layers of the video overlapping, and it's also swaying back and forth, so it gives you a good sense of what it looks like and feels to be intoxicated. Whereas this one is just everything just expands and contracts, and it's just a weird look for the effect they're trying to go for. So the last thing that I want to touch on is my live stream experience yesterday with the game. One, I'm actually surprised that I was able to stream it at all, and I did actually get quite a few viewers. I forget if it was on the first stream or if it was on the second stream. I think it was on the second stream where I got about 800 viewers. So I was streaming it for about 45 minutes, and all of a sudden the screen went blue, and it gave a broadcasting. You can still hear me, you can still hear the game being played. So I kind of figured that it was maybe because I was in the tutorial part, the developers didn't want that to be shown. So I tried to rush through the tutorial so we can get out. Tutorial finished, and I still had that the blue screen. Now I know I watched the video before I did a broadcast where they were saying that YouTube will shut down streams if you don't have a few of the things disabled, like the nudity. So the nudity I did disable it before I did the live stream, so there's no nudity. You guys can definitely check out the video and you'll see that whatever was nudity was, had patches over it and stuff like that. You could never tell that it was patched, but anyways, it was patched over. So that's not why the video was blocked. But I tried 3 or 4 times, and 2 out of the 4 times that I tried the broadcast, I was able to play the game for anywhere from 1 hour to 45 minutes. And then after the 45-minute mark, the blue screen would come back. You can still hear me, you can still hear the game playing in the background, but you just could not see the game play, and that was hella frustrating. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my initial thoughts on the Cyberpunk 2077. And I'm sure they're going to be doing the patch. Here it's going to be like a 40 gigabyte patch. It's definitely needed. My verdict of the game is a solid 5 out of 10. There is definitely a great game to be had here. They have to patch the weirdness of the controls. They have to patch the PlayStation 5 version of the game. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be at least like a 200 gig file if the base game is 100 gigabytes. Yeah, the driving, the aiming has to be addressed. The game should have been delayed for another at least 3 months. If you guys can't wait, come on, man. You all complain when the game is finally released with all the glitches and the bugs and whatever, and then you bitch at them for releasing such a shoddy product. Well, this is what happens when a shoddy product is released, just to appease the masses. So when there was delayed for the first time, I didn't care. The game had enough promise. When it was delayed the second time, I still didn't care. And then when it was delayed the third time, again, I did not care, because the game is going to be worth it. So I'm not bashing the game, I'm just bashing where it is right now, because it should have been delayed at least another 3 months. The PC, I'm hearing, is a complete dumpster fire, a complete mess where games are crashing. I was grateful that my game did not crash. I streamed it for about 2 hours, 3 hours. My friend couldn't even get past the first mission. Once they leave at the bar, and he was playing it on the PC, once he leaves the bar, the game just kept on crashing. He would reload the game, and it would just keep on doing the same thing. He would restart the game from 0, advance to that point, and then it would crash again. Geeks and Gamers had a great take on the game. Dreamcast Guy had a great take on the game as well. Check those guys out. Gaming Bolt, another great channel to check out for your video reviews. Game Ranks, another great channel to check out. And there are tons more. Amazing Lucas streamed it. I was trying to get his attention, but he wasn't really reading the comments. I'm sure he was playing on the PlayStation 5, so I wanted to see if he had any similar issues. So guys, the game is right now as it is, with all the bugs and glitches and crashing and whatever. It is a solid 5 out of 10. The game itself is the 5, and the bugs are the other part that brings it down. So once the game starts getting patched, it will start getting better and better. I say within 3 months the game is going to be in a amazing state that we can give it a 8 out of 10. So the next video I'm going to be putting out there is my first month take after owning the PlayStation 5. That's all I'm going to say about that. Is it's been trying. It's been a ordeal, PlayStation 5. Yeah, I'm staring down on PlayStation 5 right now. So thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. If you guys did get a chance to play the Cyberpunk 2077 game, let me know what you think. Let me know actually what glitches you had. Let me know as well what system you played it on. And I will be reading everybody's comments and replying to the comments as well. Please leave a like, leave a comment if you wish, and most importantly, subscribe and stay tuned for more videos. I will be back. Jigga Vig out.